Well, welcome back to another episode of the Buffalo Happy Hour. Mike, what's going on?
Should we advise the amount of insane calories that we just crushed in a unrealistic, unreasonable amount of time, or are we just going to skip over that?
Insanely good.
So we are basically in Froth Brewing, but we should start with introductions and job titles, I guess, if they exist, and then just dive right into it because there's a lot that we have to talk about specifically for you guys. So you want to start, man?
Sure. AJ Giordano. I'm the executive chef and co-owner of Munch Buffalo, LLC. We are the food at Froth Brewing, operating the kitchen. And we've been here for about 2 weeks operating under our own business, but I've been here for the last month and a half cooking in the kitchen as well, to kind of get a feel for the crowd, kind of feel what people were eating, what kind of specials I could run. You know, it was a really awesome experience to get as a chef, to be able to come into a restaurant, work for a little while, and you know, be able to gauge what I was going to be expecting in the future, you know, basically on someone else's dime.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah. And Chris Cavallari, I'm the owner and CEO of Munch Buffalo LLC. I'm all the financial backing in regards to handling all of the payroll, staffing, financing for any future projects. As we've discussed, we do have additional plans outside of just this location. So really, I own a company, Top Funding, that is a financial funder for businesses all throughout United States and Canada. So I really have great ties to big capital sources, and it's just like a match made in heaven. AJ does the cooking, I kind of handle everything else on the side in the back end, and it's really been working out very well for us.
It sounds like Derek does everything. I'm just here to smile, and it's been working out really well for us.
Right? Yeah.
So how did you guys meet?
Believe it or not, we had a mutual friend. I used to work at Bank of America as a mortgage loan analyst, and a coworker of mine asked if I wanted to go see the Knicks Heat game in New York City. I was like, sure, let's go. And he invited Chris as well, and that was 2013, I think, somewhere in there. And we went to New York City, had an awesome time, went to some awesome restaurants, and kind of remained in touch after that. But then most recently, I was a chef at the Lockport Town and Country Club, and I was there for the last few years. And Chris's family has a large presence in Lockport. Everyone's dentists and basically orthodontists.
Right. Everyone got their braces done by my uncle.
everyone in Lockport.
Yep.
So I saw Chris at Easter, and we kind of reconnected, and we just remained in touch since then. And we had a couple opportunities sort of slip away over the last year, and we had signed a lease, and then the owners here called and asked if we'd be interested in leasing this kitchen as well, in addition to the other location. And we looked at the financials, and we could support both locations. So we tried to find a team of chefs, and we did. We were successful, which right now is a very difficult time to hire chefs. For anyone in any workforce, it's a difficult time to hire. But I found some guys that are really talented that are looking to move into a business where they're appreciated. That was one of the biggest things lacking in my career as a chef. You don't always feel appreciated, and we wanted to change that and kind of build a better system for employing chefs, where they either take on part of the business themselves or they're rewarded with bonuses. And there's just not a lot of places hiring. Everyone's paying top dollar right now, but there's not a lot of businesses offering a portion to get in and be loyal and stay a part of the business. So that's something that we're doing that might be unique, to try to motivate staff, and so far it seems to be working.
Where did you go for culinary?
I didn't finish, but I went to ECC for 3 semesters, and then I was already the sous chef at Lombardo's when I was 21 years old, and I was making great money, working quite a few hours, and I just decided that was the route I was going to take. And not everyone has a culinary degree. It's one of the few fields where your presence in the field kind of validates your credentials. So I've worked at Tempo and the Remington and Oliver's as the catering chef, and some of Buffalo's best restaurants for some of the best chefs in the city. So I kind of decided that it was my turn to take a stab at it for myself, and here we are.
So what was that conversation like, where you're like, hey, we got the money, do you want to do something was it always going to be a food catering service? What was that initial conversation like where it's like, yo, do you want to go into business together? Is this a good idea?
Yeah, so I mean, we've always been in touch, like he referenced previously, but we always wanted to find the right location and have like the right execution, because everybody has great ideas. It's all about the execution and making sure that you're delivering it correctly. So like he said, we had some opportunities that unfortunately just didn't work out, but everything kind of happens for a reason. And kind of Claudette's fell right into our lap. They were a very successful business for 37 years. And then they decided they no longer wanted to pursue it any longer. So us going in there is going to give us really infinite possibilities to be able to do catering in their premium meal service. But having this second location here, it just made a ton of sense as well, because we were able to really build a following, not for just catering, but also being a great complement to the excellent beer. And that's really kind of our goal, really across the board, is just to have a very consistent quality product that always has people coming back for more, because you don't know what's next. We have very talented chefs. We have Peter Imborski, we have Christopher Silvati, a couple other guys, and they're really, really good and unique. They all have different taste profiles, and that's what I think really keeps people coming back time and again, because you're eating things that you don't really see anywhere else, especially in a gastropub. You're used to getting wings or a burger, and you're coming here and you're seeing things like inside out chicken parm and Cuban sandwiches, and it stacks right up against places down in Miami, Florida. So it's really something that we're very proud of, and we continue to pursue it throughout Buffalo. Buffalo is all about food.
So it was always going to be food. It wasn't going to be like a nursing home or anything like that.
No,
right?
we were always excited to do.
No.
We were always excited to do something unique, and I think going back to the original question, last year a place fell into our lap, and we were able to, with Chris's persistence, get in and talk to these people about renting a location. And during that time, we kind of put together a small scale business plan. And then once that fell through, we were pretty disheartened, and I just went back to working 100 hours a week at the country club. So it kind of just went by the wayside for about a year. And then over the summer, I kind of just decided, I'm not working 100 hours a week anymore without any staff and trying to hire dishwashers and all that kind of nonsense. So I said, I'm just going to go into business for myself. I started doing some private chef stuff. It was very, very successful from October to December. I made more in 3 months than I did the whole rest of the year.
Wow.
And once, that happened, we reconvened and the location fell into our lap. So we basically wrote a business plan and started this in a month and a half. From start to finish, we got everything in order. We went to open a business bank account, created an LLC, hired attorneys, drew up a lease, like everything in a month and a half. And it was a lot of pressure, but pressure molds diamonds.
Right.
So
that's quick for New York City.
Yeah,
That's
it was insane. The health inspection, like everything. It was in a month and a half. We were just on the grind like crazy. And then we're literally a fire inspection and a health inspection away from opening Claudette's now. So that's going to be Munch on the Boulevard, our other location. So we'll be doing premium meal service there as well. And it's also going to be like a commissary kitchen for here. We can do a lot of the prep work there, so we can kind of make this, pretty much a walk-in and everything's set. You just have to assemble food and, cook chicken, cook your burgers. But we can have all the stuff prepped to create consistency, which is, one of the biggest things I've identified is there's no consistency in restaurants. You could have 3 different guys make your meal and it's just going to taste 3 different ways. So if we have someone making our kimchi that's the same every week, and we have someone making our sauces that's the same every week, and our barbecue sauce, and following recipes, then we can ensure that consistency, that people are going to get the same product every time they come.
I feel like New York State goes, okay, fill out this form, and then Chris is standing there like, okay, it's filled out.
And here's the check.
Yeah, didn't even leave. Like,
Here's the check.
Standing in front of the window.
It's really just
That's
about
such a riot.
the fees,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you mentioned streamlining essentially this kitchen, or this location's kitchen.
Sure.
Which is awesome, because like you were saying off camera right before we hit record, the volume of people that enter this place just to buy beer are now getting hit with an insane menu, which we'll touch on in a minute.
Sure.
But having something be streamlined from a food standpoint is going to be tremendous. And then from your viewpoint, that's going to be great, because it's way less overhead, way less hours putting in, because it's all taken care of.
Less labor.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
great.
they already have such a great following here already, and us just complementing it and bringing in new people where they've never even heard of Froth And when we bring them in and Jesse and Travis, the owners, see like, wow, these guys have never been in here and they've been here for 5 hours eating and drinking and telling all their friends and coming back, that's really the value that we're adding here. Not only just the food, but bringing our following. And, we plan to do additional things on Mondays and Tuesdays, private dinners and stuff that he touched on, that's going to really complement them very well because those are days they're currently not open.
So in a month and a half, you develop an establishment, essentially. So from the menu standpoint, it was almost a blank slate.
Sure.
So what was that process in creating things that isn't necessarily reinventing the wheel, but it's a super nice wheel?
Sure. Every bar has their pickles, fries, and pretzels, and stuff like that. We do ours a little bit differently so that it's not something everyone else is doing. And I'm not going to reveal any secrets. You're going to have to come and check for yourself.
No,
but
that's fine.
This isn't just an ordinary pretzel that you're going to get at a regular brewery. This is a little bit jazzed up, and the queso dipping sauce that it's served with. We make our own queso. It's really, really good. We're just trying to put our own unique twist on things that are already done up. And then you got your chicken fingers, but we're serving them with Blue Ranch. We make our own sauces, our own barbecue sauce, our own, you have the jerk sauce on the jerk wings. Like that was made using beers that are here, the sours, and they use real fruit puree in all the sours. None of it is artificial flavor. None of it's concentrate. It's all real fruit puree. So
you can see it in this glass.
The sugars, the way that they reduce, the way that they thicken, the way that they create sauces, it's unique to this brewery. I don't see any of that anywhere else in Western New York. And, their sours are there's no competition as far as I'm concerned. It's the best brewery in Western New York.
So you said Blue Ranch. What's that?
Blue Ranch. So we are uniting the world one condiment at a time. The discussion is over. You can go whichever direction you'd like, but we're going to combine the two. It's something that I've been thinking about for a while. We're currently trying to copyright and patent it.
Oh.
But yeah.
This is his ace in the hole.
Oh, yeah, this is ace in the hole.
Yeah.
We're going to bottle it and sell it and everything. There's a couple other things we got in the works. Maybe some secret mustard sauce that everybody will go wild for. But, yeah, we're going to be doing Blue Ranch.
Which is a combination
it's
of
blue cheese and ranch dressing. We're mixing them together, man. It's just, let's move on here. It's 2022. It's time to leave the fight in the past and, unite the world.
Where do you guys fall on that scale? So if you're going out and you're ordering wings, what are you putting on your wing?
I'm a big blue cheese guy.
Blue cheese, all the way.
I always order blue cheese and get it with my wings, but every occasion I'll ask for some ranch on the side. And
Do you get weird looks?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, but you know what though? I haven't made a living giving a crap what other people thought. So
If you're outside of Buffalo,
I give them a weird look right back.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
To be fair, you also look like Dave Bautista's son.
Thank you. I'll take that as a high compliment.
No doubt. So, yeah, and you have a very similar laugh. So,
Beautiful.
in regards to the other things that you guys are offering, your specials you mentioned change constantly.
Every day, yeah.
So, how do you stay fresh mentally to do that?
Everyone's gonna laugh when they hear this and think I'm the biggest hack, but I watch a lot of diners, drive-ins, and dives.
Yeah?
And the ideas I get, I have notebooks full of ideas just from that. It's like, oh, I could do that. It's like, oh, I see this guy making brisket and then mashing it up and then putting it in a ravioli. It's like, I can do that. I can make fresh pasta, and I get these ideas, and then it's all about execution. We go to the food lab and, we and indulge in a couple of these wonderful sours and then decide, hey, this is how we're going to do it. And, we execute it. And it's just, I read cookbooks. The Food Network emblem is burned into the bottom left side of my TV. I live for cooking. It's my passion.
Yeah.
So I've been cooking since I was 15 years old. I started off at the Olympic over on Military and Sheridan doing eggs and toast and all that stuff. And then, I had a brief stint at Fanny's, one of Buffalo's fine dining establishments.
Oh, everybody had their
18 or
family
19.
parties there.
Everybody, yeah. So it's my passion, and now doing it for myself, I really love it even more because, I get to make anything I want, whenever I want. I can make foie gras torchon and grate it over, some ribs and do whatever I want. It's my kitchen. I can make anything I want and get as creative as I want, and there's no limit.
You mentioned aspects of Miami being brought forward in the menu here. Do you guys travel and then have that conversation of just like, well, this is something that they do in Du Bois or wherever you are.
He's in Miami every week. Sending me pictures of
I
humans.
travel pretty often. Yeah.
I'm working. He's busy.
Yeah.
He's busy. Bringing in the loot, and I'm working. He's telling people about the business all over the country, so we can get a national brand.
Yeah, and not only do I travel for some pleasure, but it's mostly for work as well, for lender events and stuff like that. I'm going to be going out to San Diego at the end of the month for a Tuesday professional group I'm a part of. So I really do like to travel, and I'll send them pictures of stuff and like ideas, and like specifically out there, like the shrimp tacos and stuff like that in California are really big. And like these are all things like, it's really, he runs the kitchen. He runs all of the food. He has complete,
creative control.
Yeah, creative control. And that's like really the beauty in our relationship, because it's like we don't step on each other's toes. Like if he is like, we're going to make this and we're going to have, 5 different, sauces on it, I'm like, all right, let's try it. And it's always amazing. Like always. And like, there's just so many flavors in everything that he makes. So really, yeah, traveling, I think that does bring some ideas about it, but I got to give all the creativity to him, because end of the day, he puts out the product and he keeps it consistent across, multiple different chefs. That's something we work on. We have like weekly meetings with our chefs, and we go over like, okay, we want to make sure that it's delivered the same way every time.
So that whole experimenting process of trying to figure out what you want, is it just as simple as I'm going to try to create something off the top of my head, bring it out here, you guys both eat it and just like grade it? Or is it just if it's in your head, it's already on the menu?
So a lot of times it's utilizing what you already have in house. It's a small kitchen. We don't have a lot of space here, so it's kind of trying to cross utilize ingredients that we already have in the building. So I mean, like this week I had chicken thighs, and I'm doing a smoked chicken paratha taco with mango chutney and cucumbers, and it's that's kind of, we got this paratha bread. I was at an Indian bazaar with my coworker, and he saw this amazing bread. It's like a croissant. And he's like, we should try this. And he brings it in and fries it up, and we throw it on the flat top. And then we're like, we can use this as a taco shell. We can use this as this, that. No one else in Western New York is using paratha bread for taco shells. So I have a team of chefs that are 2 of the most creative chefs I've ever met. And I'd be lying if I took all the credit for it, because both of those guys are just as equally talented and creative as I am, and they have quite a bit of experience from working in New Orleans, working in Boston, working with Anthony Bourdain, Pittsburgh. Like, these guys have been around and they've seen some really cool stuff. So a lot of it's just cross utilizing ingredients. We find something new, we make some sort of condiment that no one else has that makes our tacos unique. It's, everyone has a short rib taco. Nobody's making, the kimchi that we make, and nobody's got, all the accoutrement and the furikake and all the cool, side things that we sprinkle on top of it that makes it a lot more unique. It's got crunch, it's got spice, it's got heat, it's got sweet, it's, the textures. I'm very big on texture contrast. That's, I flavor all my stuff using acid, whether it's vinegar, lemons, limes. And then I also incorporate chilies into a lot of things because I like spice, and this is my menu, and you're drinking at a brewery. The more spice, the more beer you're going to drink. Right. It just kind of goes with saying. And I'm a big, bold guy. I like big, bold flavors, and that's my brand, and that's what I'm putting out there for everyone.
Where did you find the other chefs that you say work under you?
Chris was basically taught me everything I know. He was the executive chef at Lombardo's from the time he was 21 till 34, I think. And he was. I've never met anyone with that kind of palate. I can hand him a sauce and I'd be like, what's in it? And he'll name 18 of the 20 ingredients. I don't know anyone else that can do that. And
wow.
Peter, I met when I was
He's
selling food.
He's got to be a great party guest.
Oh, it's yeah, exactly. But I mean,
you've used 2 things.
Yeah, exactly. It's like salt and pepper. That's it, But he brought in this crazy sauce. He found this sauce. It's called Zong sauce. And, that's one of our secret ingredients that we sprinkle into a bunch of things. And people are like, what the heck is that? Like, there's nothing like that around here. It's this sauce we found at the Asian market with all Asian lettering that no one can read. And we just grabbed it because it looked cool. It had a cool bottle. And all of a sudden we're like, man, this is like the best thing I've ever tasted. So now we're putting it on our noodles and putting it on our rice for our fried rice and adding it to the kimchi. And like, it just creates these flavor profiles that, it just works. It's kind of crazy. So
why do you guys think that you're like, clearly other places aren't doing something this experimental or this kind of like, I'm going to incorporate all of this kimchi into the smoke or the rib taco that you just said. Like, why aren't other businesses doing this? Is it a lack of creativity? Is it just that's where your mind goes immediately, or what do you think that is?
I think it's because I'm the chef and the owner. I think a lot of times the chefs that are the owners, like, I don't need a huge staff to be able to work here and do cool stuff. And in a lot of the places you do, it's a larger kitchen. You're doing more covers. You need more people, and you can't have the same people. We're only open 5 days a week, so the same people are here all 5 days. So that's the consistency. I think it's just difficult to just maintain staff, and it's hard to get creative when you have a rotating door for your staff.
Sure.
It's just kind of. There's only so much you can do when you're teaching your dishwasher who's 16, 17 years old how to cook.
Right.
So,
And I think to your point, Chris, was the scaling aspect of the business itself, where the other aspects of having a kitchen come into play between cleaning and just the minute tasks, even including prep.
Sure.
So if you have, in this case, it works. If you have a smaller staff and it's functioning at a higher level.
sure.
Where it's the chef, and then a sous chef could also be a chef just because of the level of the talent.
Yeah.
Yep.
It helps the other small, minute tasks just stay on top of, like cleaning, where everyone's on the same page of, I already know the codes, I already know A, B, and C, so I don't have to think about it. I'll just do it, and it's part of me working. So you don't have to train, you don't have to, this person called off, that person always does this, this, and this. It's a smaller kitchen. Everybody's at such a high level. You're just operating.
It's
So you
almost on
have more
autopilot.
time. Yeah. So you have more time for the creativity aspect of it, which in this case is insane because the food is bomb, which,
Yeah.
we can say out loud now, but
Really
Yeah,
excited.
now that you've actually tried it.
yeah,
of course. yeah.
absolutely.
So let's talk about what we just tried. You brought two things out. You brought some wings and a chicken sandwich.
The spicy mother clucker and the Island Boy jerk wings.
I'm assuming the spicy
These
mother
names, I love
The
them.
chicken
I
sandwich,
love them.
man.
All right. So what is the spicy mother clucker?
So it is a pickle
Did I
brine.
say it right? Is
Yeah,
that
oh yeah,
the right-
spicy
okay.
mother clucker. Yeah,
Okay,
exactly. You nailed it. It is a pickle brine. We brine it in dill pickle juice for 2 days, and then it's buttermilk, flour that we make, and then buttermilk and flour again, and then we throw it in the fryer. And it's just the pickle juice gives it a really delicious flavor. It keeps it really juicy. Brining any kind of protein will keep it juicy like that. So, but you don't want to do it for more than 2 days because then it starts to dry out from the salt. But it just creates a really delicious flavor, and then the crunch from the crust, the spicy slaw, the Nashville sauce we make is just it's different. It's not the same thing everyone else is using. So when people try it, it's really a new experience for them.
We just met.
Sure.
So I blacked out, and we all witnessed. I finished the sandwich, and I was super happy inside.
Sure.
My soul was gratified. And then my first thought was, well, this is sad. There's no more. Second, where's the nearest spoon? Because I need to finish the rest of the coleslaw.
Sure. Yeah.
Nothing was left.
Of course.
So, which is great, especially from your benefit of cost analysis was on point that meal.
Yeah.
So
Right on.
So
Satiated.
is that normal that you guys see people just kind of no one's talking and everyone's just like, oh my god?
That's a chef's favorite time. But
Okay.
it's kind of a party scene in here a little bit. I can't really say that actually. There are a lot of families that come here, especially now that there's been some of a brunch menu. We've been running some brunch specials. Drop your locks and grab your socks. It was a lox bagel sandwich that I did last week.
Yep.
We sold a bunch of them. Everybody loved it. It's a unique spin on things. And then I like the names to be a little on edge. I'm an edgy person and I'm a little offensive, but I intend on it. So people, I try to keep it, suiting me and who I am.
Yeah, he'll dance the line pretty close.
Yeah, I like to walk the line.
But yeah, it really, you see people from all walks of life come in here. From blue collar workers to a little bit of a hipster scene families. I mean, you see a little bit of everything, and that's what's really unique about it because you really can make you don't have to go to a park country club or something like that. You can make great connections here with people that you wouldn't even believe that are here. It's a nice area. It's not like there's a ton of places around here that are very unique to this. So if you're coming out here, you're typically coming here. And any way to help kind of retain them here for a long time with, not only the food but beer. That's really what our goal is.
So what about those chicken wings? Just so we can round out the food conversation.
So I brined them for a day, and then I smoked them, and then I rubbed them in jerk rub before I smoked them, and then smoked them with the jerk rub. And then we made a barbecue sauce, like a jerk barbecue sauce, with one of the mango passion fruit guava sours that they have. And I added some soy sauce, some Worcester sauce, reduced it. It made like a beautiful, like caramely barbecue sauce. And the wings are intended to be a little bit dry because they're jerk. But yeah, it just notes of different flavors, and sweet and spicy and salty and smoky. Obviously, they were super crispy. So, that's just a special that we ran last week. I smoked those on Saturday. We went through most of them, almost a whole case of chicken wings in a day. For us, we sold 120 pounds of meat on Saturday. In this small establishment.
I was running out to Gordon to get more stuff. I mean, it was a crazy day.
I was like, go get more chips, go get more fries, hurry up. It's like, we didn't really know what to expect. We knew it was going to be busy, but it was better than we could have anticipated,
So we've talked about, sorry, Mike, but we've talked about the partnership with Froth a little bit.
Sure.
What is that whole relationship like? Of I'm just going to go grab a beer because that's going to be my sauce. Like, what is that conversation? Like?
They pay for all the food, we pay for all the beer. So I mean, basically, I'll just let them know, like, hey, I took a couple of pictures of this, and they love it. We're going to be, let's couple this into doing beer dinners. We're going to start doing beer pairings where we do 5, 6, 7 course tasting menus for 100 people. We sell tickets. We have limited events. They handle the alcohol, we handle the food. It's a beautiful partnership because the best part about all this is when we met in the beginning, they said, we change our menu every 6 weeks. And I get ADD really bad. So after a couple weeks of having something, I'm like, I'm sick of it. Let's get rid of it.
Yeah, scrap and start fresh.
Exactly. So I love that because I can change my menu, maybe not everything, but, we'll probably keep 8 or 10 core items. We're going to have a burger. We're going to keep the pretzels. We'll have nachos. But we can, take 4 or 5 items and completely switch them around and, do something different every 6 weeks. And that's really exciting for any chef because the worst part about being a chef is becoming stagnant and when you lose your inspiration and your creativity. So they come out with all these different flavors of beer so that a couple days before they're releasing the beer, we get to try everything. And then I'm like, wow, this tastes great with this. Let's make a barbecue sauce for a pulled pork nacho, or, this beer tastes fantastic with this. Let's make a dipping sauce for our spring rolls. Those are the kind of things that we're doing, incorporating their stuff into our food, and it's a really beautiful relationship. They basically were like, you guys can do anything you want. You can scrap the menu if you want to and do anything. We don't want, let us brew and you guys do the food. And it's awesome because they're my guinea pigs. I get to come out and I'm like, guys, do you like these stinger nachos? Well stung. That was the stinger nachos we did for our 420 celebration. And it was,
there's like 5 of them. They're like our beta testers. We'll bring it out and they give us the thumbs up, thumbs down, and we haven't gotten the thumbs down yet.
No.
And just to touch on what he was saying, it's not like we're like just plugging like, hey, let's try their Purple OG barbecue and try and put it in. Like, we're actually putting it in there because it like adds such a delicious value, and it is so good. And when you realize you're like, this is like a beer mix with the wings or sandwich, it's like, wow, like these guys really are onto something big time.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it is. And it's nice. Those are great work perks.
It is, yeah.
I mean, if a chef is always nearby, it's always nice. Speaking on location, you hit a really good point about blue-collar workers plus hipsters plus everyday families. Like, it's across the board. We have a lot of listeners that aren't necessarily in Buffalo as well. A lot of them did leave Buffalo, so they could be from all over the place. Do we want to talk about exactly where we are?
Yeah, absolutely. We're in North Buffalo on the corner of Hinman and Military, right by the NFTA, station, and across from Sophia's. If you're from Buffalo, I'm sure you've heard of Sophia's, one of the best breakfasts in Western New York.
Yep.
But yeah, it's, we're hoping to get the parking lot done in the next month or two, and this place is going to be banging. We got a pig roast coming up on the 4th of July. If anybody wants to come to that, we'll be happy to have you. We got a whole hog from Mike Parcott. He's a local farmer out in Pembroke, and the guy's unbelievable. He raises some of the best hogs I've ever seen. But yeah, we're going to be doing some really cool stuff in the near future.
It's right in the heart of Black Rock. It's really kind of a destination here, and they've been here since 2018, and they've really established themselves as a really top brewer in the area all throughout Western New York. So, we're really just like glad to be a part of the ride because we see such great things planned for like the spring coming up, and working with Jesse, him and AJ and I we have such great ideas that we like kind of hash out like every single week, and like they're all about like let's just do it, like let's not think about it, like let's like execute and make it happen. Like for the event we had on Saturday, like we just kind of like put some things together, and it was just unbelievable in here how packed it was. So the partnership with him is just great, because he's like, we'll talk about something, he's like, let's do it, like we're gonna do like, hey, we're gonna have a podcast there this Wednesday. He's like, all right, come on, let's do it. That works for us.
That's awesome. So what is a staple on your menu that if somebody comes in, this is the first thing that you should try to experience who we are? Like, I don't know if you want to jump right into the spicy.
I would say, I mean, for me personally, I love the Last Dragon tacos.
The Last Dragon tacos.
They are just so, they're like, I hate onions, and AJ knows that, and he's constantly putting onions and kimchi and all this stuff in it, and like, he's really changed my palate on it. I mean, those tacos, there's like every bite, you're like, there's just so much flavor, and like there's like 5 different things, and I can't personally put my finger on it, and it's just unbelievable. That's my top choice.
What is it?
It's braised short ribs. I braise them in the Oil Works. It's one of their beer, the Last Dragon tacos. Braised short ribs. It's the kimchi. I do a furikake, which is like a toasted sesame seeds and all kinds of goodies, and then cilantro, tiger sauce, which is a secret, aioli that we make. And then there is pickled red onion, cilantro, and chopped peanuts. So it's a little crunchy, it's sweet, it's salty, it's spicy, it's crunchy. It's got the taco shell that's crisped up. It's just warm, cold. It literally hits every single sensation in your mouth. It's an umami bomb. That's what I like to call it. It activates the sixth sense.
You're just a creative with the words.
Oh,
too.
yeah. Wordplay is my thing.
Wordplay.
He's very loud and has
large and in charge.
Yeah, large and in charge. Yes, he's very loud, and it may be the most infectious laugh I've ever heard, like ever. But the uniqueness with the names and stuff like that. I mean, it's really something kind of like our staple. Like we want you to like look and be like, wait, I got to read the description, because
almost be insulted when you read it on you, like
slightly offended, not too offended.
About,
It's funny because I'm reading it, and the one is for the vegetarians.
Yeah, for the vegetarians.
And it's just like you yelling in the back.
They announced they're a vegetarian, so I'm announcing we have something for you vegetarians.
Look at the veggie nuggets with the Slovakia.
And actually, I just grabbed a few more things for the vegetarians. I got some black bean burgers for them, some vegan chicken nuggets. We got everything,
So is
the Beyond Burger, we got it all.
Is the Last Dragon tacos, is that your bestseller, or is that just what you personally like?
I mean, we sell so much nachos. We sold our first weekend that I ran nachos, I sold 16 bags of tortilla chips.
Jesus Christ.
And I get like 4 orders per bag. So, I mean, it was...
Math.
Yeah, that's 64 orders of nachos in a night and a half, It was in less than 24 hours, I sold 30 pounds.
How come you're quiet? You're the math
I know. Rain Man. I got this. Drop the toothpicks, I dare you.
Yeah, I'd say our top seller probably, the nachos, pretzel, spicy mother cluck is up there for sure.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of spread out across the board, though. Because
a lot of chicken fingers.
Like we have a thing on the menu that's called Just Trust Us, and it's literally just $25, and AJ or
whatever
Chris
I'm
or
feeling
Pete,
that day.
they can make whatever they want. Literally whatever they want.
Yeah.
And anytime it comes out, I'm always just like, wow. Because I'm always like, put it on the menu, and he's like, hold on. Like we got to kind of bring him in slowly. But what'd you do last time? It was like
we had a General Tso's. We did a tempura batter with prime filet. And we fried that. The other chef, Chris, made homemade buckwheat noodles. We made like a General Tso's lo mein almost. It was unbelievable. Like a General Tso's stir fry with some broccoli and peppers and prime tenderloin with a General Tso sauce that he made using one of the beers. And it was just unbelievable. Everybody was blown away. And then I did last weekend. I did like surf and turf fried rice with short rib and salmon, and it was outstanding.
From your end, though, does this stress you out that you're charging a flat rate of $25 and you have no idea what's going in there, or no?
No,
okay,
no, not at all.
He knows the deal.
Yeah, like I said, AJ knows what he's doing back there.
It's got to be tough, though, right? Like you have to figure out what you actually want to make to fit that budget.
I kind of have an idea. I mean, I know what everything costs on the menu because I order everything and I look at all the, I do food cost here, and I'm pretty accurate with it, and I've been cooking a long time, and I beat my salesmen up. If they were here, they'd tell you how much they hate me because all the hey man, they got it $3 cheaper over here, I think I'm gonna go there, and they're like, let me just see what I can do. But anyway, so I kind of know what the price range is, and we're not so much worried about the cost. It's about giving someone an experience that they're never going to forget, or that they'll be like, man, I went to the Froth and I had to just trust us from the Munch guys. And man, that thing, it was the best thing I ever tasted. I can't even believe it. I was just like, I put my faith in you guys, and they delivered. So hopefully the next time their friends come in, they're like, oh, my friend had to just trust us. He said that you guys are crazy good. So, pretty much at any given time, anyone working can come up with something pretty crazy based on the ingredients we have back there. Or we can prep something special. If, I see something special at the market, or, inspiration hits on the ride into work, I can stop at Wegmans and just grab a few items because I only sell a couple of them a night, and it's exciting for me because I get to blow somebody away.
Right.
And they also have to take the risk and, what if I don't like onions like this guy,
Yeah.
There's onions in it.
Do you give them anything like, do you have allergies? Like, what
yes, I did say on the menu, it says if you do have allergies, please specify. Someone did have a shellfish allergy last week, but we weren't using any shellfish, so they were safe.
Yeah, we're not going to send anyone to the hospital.
Right. Trying not to.
But when you see someone like order something like that and they've maybe been here before but like never had the food, because we see a lot of similar faces, and like I'll go greet them and they'll be like, hey, yeah, food will be on a couple minutes, and like they're just like, so like what is it? You know what I mean? I'm like, you got to see what it is, and like the fact that they would just order it and then like
blindly.
they see how good it is and they're like, wow, I made the best decision by picking the most expensive thing on the menu, but it was probably the best thing on the menu too. So.
For sure. That's where the passion lies,
Oh, yeah.
And it's nice that every 6 weeks some things change, because the seasons are always changing too.
Always.
So the food, and which brings up the distribution point, where how much are you sourcing that's local? And then what are you running into that's an issue regarding certain ingredients where you're just like, man, I would love to get this. It's just, I know it's going to change from point A to point B in transport.
Sure. Once the farmers market's open, I'll be there every week. So tomatoes around here are awesome. The corn around here, they're going to think I'm Mayan and that there's smokestacks coming up from the back of the building because I'll be outside with all the corn, and it's going to be crazy. But I love the farmers market. I'm a huge advocate of, sourcing stuff locally. Like I said, we're getting a hog from one of the local farmers in the area. It's not always convenient. It's a lot more expensive. So when you're trying to hit a certain price point, it's not always. I mean, if I wanted to, I'd go over to Moriarty's and buy all of his local, goat and lamb and steak and all that stuff. But you're paying double or triple, and I would have to raise the prices so high that no one's going to come here to eat. Mm-hmm. So, it's just trying to do what's affordable. Also, try to keep things sustainable. Try to support local as much as possible. I try to support our local markets. I go to North Tonawanda. I'm going to start going there for our cheese curds. Time's been pretty limited lately. So the amount of running around we can do, we use a couple different purveyors. I'm sure that now that we're open and the word will start getting out, I'm sure a bunch of farmers are going to come see me. I have my friend foraging ramps for us in the next couple days. He'll be down in the southern tier pulling 20, 30 pounds of ramps out of the ground. So I love ramps. They're one of my favorite vegetables. Everything here is going to have ramps in it. Ramp butter, pickled ram kimchi.
They're surprisingly good.
It's like a wild garlic scape. It's delicious. So it's kind of oniony. Yeah. But it's going to be in everything because I love ramps. I'm very seasonal. I change with the seasons. Right now we're doing braising and like that kind of thing. Pretty soon everything will be smoked and charred and grilled, and that's the kind of way I am. I love the fall. I love the summer. I love the summer harvest. Again, like I said, corn. It's my thing.
So you guys are also thinking about getting into something else, right? Like doing some sort of prepared foods too?
Yes, we have the other location on Niagara Falls Boulevard, formerly Claudette's Catering for the last 30-something years. We're going to be doing a unique experience there. It's going to be a premium meal service where we offer cooked entrees, where you literally go home, heat it up. You can call ahead and order for your family. We'll be doing taco kits, which will be like a certain meat by the pound. It may change weekly, with a slaw, sauce, some sort of sour cream, taco shells, feeds a family 2 to 4, or, something along those lines. It's just it's a area I saw a need for in Western New York. Everybody has meal prep, but I associate that with being healthy. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that the meals will be unhealthy, but it'll be a little more for your average family that isn't looking to, count calories, or maybe with some picky kids that just want mac and cheese. Try to provide those things for the average household. People are busy. People don't want to clean. People don't want to cook. People don't want to prep food. So convenience is huge right now. And, with a lot of families having 2 people working and 2-3 kids playing sports. Let's stop and get some really good quality food. And it's not at a supermarket. It's not, something that's just mass produced and people don't really care. They just buy it for the convenience. It'll be something that's unique and something really tasty. And, we're hoping to do some smoked meats and some bacon and some really nice salads, and things along those lines that your everyday person can eat for dinner.
And it's, we're going to have subscription based. We're going to have a lot of different packages that we're going to offer to people, because really we want it to be, hey, you work, long hours, you work at a car dealership or somewhere, a roofing company, that you just don't have time to, cook at the end of the day. And like, we want to fulfill that need where you can pick it up fresh, you can get meals for the whole week. And it's, like he said, it's not, going to be something that's cookie cutter. Just like we do the menu here, it's going to change up a lot. We're going to have something very unique where people they've already been knocking on our door, like asking us when we're starting it. And like, it's coming probably mid-May, early June. But once it starts, it's going to be gangbusters. And, between AJ and I, we just have a huge network of friends, and we just are so grateful about the following and all of the love. It's really been remarkable in such a short amount of time. And everybody's just what's next? When are you coming out with, bigger catering packages? We're already booking out weddings into 2023. So it's we have some really, really big plans. And we're just scratching the surface with it, truly, really scratching.
So when you created the business and you filed for your LLC and you did all that stuff, was all that in mind? How did you forecast all that?
So,
truthfully, we planned on being on Claudette's first.
Sure, that
was the original move. Yeah, and we were going to do big time catering, 25
and events and stuff.
Right. Yep.
But now it's let's do drop off catering, where we don't have to staff an event. We just drop the food off, and it's just more sustainable, I think. I think when you try to spread yourself too thin and you take on all these events and you need a larger staff and you need more people, you're just setting yourself up for, in this environment, again, it's very difficult to find people that are reliable, that are on time. So we only need a couple delivery drivers and cooks that can drive cars that can deliver the food if we need them to. And that's really going to be our niche, doing drop-off catering. We'll set it up real quick, and then we're out of there.
Yeah, really strong core. We have a very strong core of people that we can really trust. And even here, he was, discussing earlier, we run a pretty lean staff because, we're set up through Toast. Everything's through the app, online ordering. You can order up front. But at the same time, we have very good people that have a lot of experience. And if there's 15 orders on the board, AJ is going to crush it out, or Pete or Chris. There's no worry about that.
No one's worried.
And you're seeing 10 minutes or less for food. Sometimes
our
5.
ticket times are crazy.
Yeah, ticket times are unreal.
How?
Preparation. If you're prepped and you're ready and you're staying ahead of things, experience, honestly. It's just, I worked in places doing 300 or 400 breakfasts in 2 hours, and making 75 omelets in 10 minutes. And it's just, and at my last job, I had a sous chef, I had a cook, but it was a 5-person job that 2 people were doing. And the 3 core guys I have here can all do the work of 3 people. So it's really I have 9 guys, but it's only 3 guys. So we just try to make sure everybody's not working too much, make sure everybody's happy. And the cool thing is now that we're all part of the team, it can be well, where would you go this week? Do you want to work at Claudette's and do meal prep, or do you want to come here and have a blast at this party that we call work? Because I feel like I'm coming to a clubhouse. It doesn't even feel like work.
Yeah,
I walk
so
in,
fun.
Hey guys, try this beer, try that beer. Hey guys, want some snacks? It's walking into a clubhouse. Everybody's really vibing with each other, and there's just a really good energy. And I've never worked in a place where everyone is super passionate. It's awesome. It fosters a really good environment when everyone there wants to succeed.
Sure.
And is willing to do all the work it takes to succeed. And you'll find the owners on the floor scrubbing the floor on their hands if they need to, or in the back brewing beer. You know what I mean? Not in the same time after they wash their hands. But, they're willing to do anything necessary, and that's what we're all willing to do. You'll see Chris is here with his sleeves rolled up, not even taking a salary, washing dishes and taking out the garbage and running back and forth to the store just because he knows what it takes. And all of us are willing to do what it takes. And that's, everyone here will mop the floor. Everyone here will do dishes. Everyone here, there's no animosity. There's no drama. There's no, it's just a really good experience and a really good environment.
That's a big tribute, I think, to Jesse as well, because he truly wants us to be very successful. Like, he's already very successful, and, you know, they've already done, like, you know, 5x what they've done in the previous years. They're really expanding and exploding. But, like, he truly wants us to be, like, very successful here. I mean, we've been feeding him for 2 months now, and he takes home food pretty much every night.
Now he's ordering parties. He wants us to do all his parties for him. So it's awesome to have that, and it's just a really great environment.
The topic of expanding and going to other states, was that just like an aspiration, or is that already on your mind?
Oh yeah, Fort Lauderdale is on the horizon.
We gotta have it. We have to have a home in the winter, man.
Started like 2 months ago.
No,
Big plans, man.
Yeah, I mean, we essentially want to be, you know, the John Taffer of the food industry. You know, we're gonna kind of stay in our lane, and like something I tell all my employees and my other business in here, it's like, be an expert at one thing. Rather than being very good or average at a few things, if you're an expert at one thing, that really is going to be your flagship to ride the whole time. So we really have plans to, you know, go to California, Texas, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, and like find places that have a great spot, but just aren't delivering, aren't executing it right, and turning it around and, you know, figure it out from there. Maybe we'll get an equity stake. Maybe we'll do it out of the goodness of our heart. We'll see. You know, AJ and I plan on, you know, of course, he's not traveling quite yet like I am, but he will be. He absolutely will be. And, yeah, we definitely see Fort Lauderdale as one of our premier locations coming up.
Is that just because you've noticed that they don't have anything like this? Like
We
you
just
noticed
love
with
Fort
Buffalo?
Lauderdale, man.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. It's like I love it down there. It's so close. Miami's an hour.
Right.
Delray, Deer Ridge, West Palm. Everything's really close, and like they have cool spots, right? But they have like what we're looking for. Like they're looking for premium product. They're not looking for like cookie cutter or like to get a deal. People are willing to pay whatever for the, you know, the best top quality meal, and everybody wants like the new in thing, and like really that's like our goal. We want to be, you know, similar to like a Macy's Pizza with the social media presence. Like we're young, we're hip, we're putting out things that you wouldn't even think of, and when you see them you're like, I have to try that because I know it's going to sell out.
Yeah, that's the kind of vibe we're looking for. And also, you know, I've been south quite often, and there's just the work ethic from people in the north that go south. If you have a work ethic, you can be rewarded very quickly for it, because again, trying to find people in the south that'll work 10, 15-hour days and do this and do that, like it's just not as common as it is here. In New York, you live to work, you know, and Miami,
see that
you're outside having fun at the beach, you know, and you're trying to rollerblade and take a walk on the, you know, that's kind of the vibe down there. And if you have a work ethic, the sky's the limit. You know, if you go down there and you're not afraid to work 10, 15-hour days and 7 days a week for a few years and really, you know, bust your butt, you know, you can build whatever you want. You know, it's just there for the taking.
And we also got some love for, you know, the Buffalo of the South, Charlotte. That's, you know, so
Great
many
city.
people from Buffalo moved down there, and it is beautiful. It's a beautiful place. It's so like up and rising, and like every time you go, even like in Florida, you know, you just see they're constantly doing construction, and like we really have like big plans to, you know, ride this long term. It's not just like, oh, we're going to be in for a few years and then ride it out. I previously was involved with the company Buff Eats back in 2012. We were an online ordering service, exactly like DoorDash and Grubhub and all those guys. We got in at the ground floor. We, you know, we're all over the UB, North, South, Buff State campus. We did it for about 3-4 years. We ended up getting bought out by Grubhub, and I've always wanted to get back into the food industry. And after eating AJ's food, it's like, that's really kind of was like, okay, I can piece together a financial package where we can make sense of it, but it's really about, as I, you know, addressed earlier, you got to execute right. You got to find the right place, and like it's all life's, you know, there's always opportunity around the corner, but it's all about, you know, finding the right opportunity and doing it correctly.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
it's awesome.
So, I mean, we just talked about what's next, but is there anything that we didn't talk about that you guys are just going to throw at us? Like you're going to go in a different country now or something like that?
Not
or?
yet. No, that could be, you know, Munch,
Not
South
leaving
America.
North Carolina, North America quite yet.
But is there anything else that we didn't talk about that you guys want to hit on?
No, I think that, you know, we've got a lot of support from a lot of really good people, a lot of positive vibes, and that's just, we're hoping to ride the wave into the future. You know, we've got, our social media presence has increased like tenfold in the past couple weeks. Jasmine's done a great job at, you know, that's our social media coordinator. She's doing an awesome job with that. You know, we're just we have a small staff, and everybody's working really hard to like be successful, and that's kind of what we're trying to maintain. It's early on, it's exciting, everybody's really, the juices are flowing, the creative juices. We're thinking of new ideas every day of cool specials and things that we can do, and you're just gonna have to come in and see what we're cooking up.
Right. Yeah, I mean, teamwork makes the dream work. Like you said, we have a smaller staff, but like we do that intentionally because we really want to like grow as we grow. We don't want to jump into something that's, it's a potential opportunity, but then we're going to fall flat on our face, right? So like when we were looking at Claudette's and then this opportunity came about, we really had to make sure like, okay, like can this work? Like can we make like both locations work? And we put together the business plan and we're like, yeah, not only can it work, but we can make them like work like a well-oiled machine. So I really have to give a lot of credit to AJ. I handle a lot behind the scenes, but I mean, he's the face. And I told him that. It's like, even on this podcast, I'm like, this is for you. Like, this is our business, but like he worked for 20 years to have the opportunity to be able to open up his own shop and be able to, have the creativity to do his own menu. And that's what it is. If he has something and I try it and I'm like, I don't think this is it, but it might be it, but if it sells, it sells. Right.
Yeah.
And it's really like, it's a beautiful relationship because, there are like tough conversations as well. You know what I mean? Like it's not all rainbows all the time. There are some things that, we had to iron out early on and make sure that it was like, tight knit, and we really want everything tight. We want it to like run really smoothly. And, being that we're friends on the side, but we don't let that get in the way. We don't let that steer our judgment just because, hey, I have a friend of mine that could work for us. Okay, but like, how could he be an asset to us, right?
What does he contribute?
Right.
Sure.
I love that.
Yeah.
So speaking of social media, what are your handles?
So our handle is Munch Buffalo across the board on Instagram, Facebook, and on Twitter as well.
And then your hours.
Our hours are Wednesday, Thursday, 4 till 9. Friday, Saturday, 12 till 10, and Sunday, 12 till 5.
And we have planned Sunday opening up for brunch. That's probably coming here in the somewhat near future. Also with spring coming up, Wednesday, Thursday,
Probably
considering lunch as well. Yeah.
Once the weather gets a little nicer and we can get the patio going, then we'll probably open.
Yeah, they got
lunches
the
as well.
patio doors and they roll them up, and they're going to do some stuff in the parking lot. So like we plan on doing a lot of like huge events here in the summer.
Nice.
That's sweet. Anything planned besides that 4th of July barbecue?
Just the semi-monthly beer dinners we're going to be doing. As of right now, I think tentatively we're doing June 14th is going to be our first. We'll have tickets probably go on sale mid-May for that. Give about 3 weeks, 4 weeks to sell out. So that's going to be our first, but we'll be doing them every other month after that. So even possibly every month. It could, depending on how successful and what the crowd wants. But yeah, that's definitely going to be exciting. It's going to be a unique experience. I don't know of any breweries around here doing it currently. That could be because I haven't really looked, but I could be wrong. But we'll see. So stay tuned, and that's going to be exciting, and you're going to have some experiences that you weren't expecting when I bust out the ceviche with one of their tequila beers or something like crazy like that. It could be anything.
Yeah, we'll get requests, that are kind of wild for like people that want to do parties from 10 up to several hundred, and like we like to kind of like deliver a product where it's like, okay, we have a lot of options. Like what are you looking for? And then from there, AJ will put together an unbelievable stellar menu for it. So we really just plan on just keep growing, keep getting the word out, and the proof's in the pudding. Say that every day. It's like, come try the food,
So we probably should have started with this, but what would you even classify yourself as from a restaurant standpoint? Like, you're not American
kind of more tavern, but like a little bit of tapas, American tapas, not really so much Spanish tapas. We're just trying to kind of be like a microbrewery, I guess. It's kind of our niche, but like, I don't know. It's just comfort. I'm sorry, a little far away there.
You're good.
You're fine.
It's comfort food. We're really going for comfort food and smaller portions too, so it's not so heavy and like overwhelming. I'm sure when you ate that sandwich, you were like, I probably could have taken a couple more bites. But at the same time, you're like, all right, I'm comfortable. I don't need to eat anymore. It's trying to hit that portion.
I wanted more because I was just a barbarian. And the food was really good.
Sure,
not because the portion was too small.
It's hard to put it down, right? Once it's in your hands. It's just like, all right.
So, but yeah, the appropriate portions, and some of the feedback we got is that the portions were too large here. So we cut back the size of the. Well, people were leaving with a lot of to-go containers, and that's never a good thing. You don't want people leaving with a whole
I see
meal
what
left to
happened.
go. So
And we keep an eye on like what comes back. to the
sure,
kitchen.
absolutely.
Yeah.
We're spending too much money on to-go containers.
If we see like like some barbecue fingers that they only ate a little bit of it, we kind of wonder like, okay, like what could
Maybe
we
we'll
have
serve 3.
yeah. What could we have done different? Or maybe they ate too much nachos, So we're always trying to, adapt and improve, and like that's kind of the name of the game in business. You have to adapt to change and be able to, roll with the punches. And between AJ and the rest of our chefs' creativity and me handling stuff on the back end, and we're always looking for new opportunity.
Sure.
So that's something, we're going to be at Claudette's, and who knows where we'll be next.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you so much for your time. This was awesome.
Absolutely.
Anything else you want to add?
No, just come Munch Buffalo.
Love that.
I want to give out shout out to my son Leo.
There you go.
Shout out to my
Perfect.
daughter Gabriella.
Oh, there
my
he
girlfriend
is.
That's the
Skylar.
first shout out there.
There you go.
that.
Yeah, one of the first.
All right. Thank you, everybody. And please
guys.
go check them
Thanks.
out because their food is spectacular. And we're going to continue eating. So thank you very much. Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Appreciate it.